thrilled that I have completed a cartoon book that's titled More Than Enough. We've already created abundance, and we can decide to have it right now. And so I'm putting together sort of the final pieces to bring that out and launch it. And it's been a creation that I've been focusing on for actually most of my life.
The thing that we want you to hear, and this piece will click into place easily for you, to have created what you've created required plenty of being tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Now the promotion of it requires being tuned in, tapped in, turned on. So the same thing that you discovered that helped you to create it is what you must discover that helps you in the next step of it, because the laws are 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 the laws. It's interesting, we see so many creative people, musicians mostly, musicians and artists and authors, but mostly musicians, we're just going to say, who feel their way to alignment, and then mastery flows through them. And then they want to find a business approach to getting it out to the world and so forth, and they forget everything that they knew that made the music flow, because their beliefs about business suck. In other words, when it was just them and creative juices or the creative muse, then it was easy. But now they have to integrate into a world that they see as not cooperative or in control of them. It doesn't go so well. So all you have to do is accept that the same mastery that allowed you the creation of your whatever it is the same mastery that will allow you to take it to the next and the next and the next, wherever you want to go with it. It's exactly the same, which means your thoughts have to feel good about it. And when your thoughts don't feel good about it, think about something else. It's simpler than you think. You know how life experience causes you to put things in the vortex. Are you good with that concept? We keep doing it. Do you get it? You know what you don't want, you know what you do want, you know what you do want, you know what you do want. So in this vibrational reality that you can't see or hear or smell or taste or touch, but it's real, it's vibration, it's real, and it is expanding, it's becoming more. And the law of attraction has gathered the cooperative components, and the cooperative components have caused it to be more and more and more and more. So you said something really brilliant. You said, my whole life I've been creating this. Well, that's right. Your whole life you have been, because your whole life you're putting contents, ingredients into the vortex. And then in your willingness to allow non-resistant moments, then those ingredients became cooperative components, and you, in your aligned state, also a cooperative component, allowed it to download into your experience. What we want you to hear is there's more downloading coming. There's more downloading coming. So don't try to push it. Don't fake it till you make it. Don't effort it. Don't sacrifice. Don't struggle. Let your knowledge of how this works, let the same inspiration that created it be the source of the inspiration that will take it to the next and the next and the next and the next. Did you hear that? It applies to everything that you're about. Because you all like to think, in other words, ooh, you are creative beings, and focusing is what you were born to do. And so you don't want a still mind, you want to focus, and you will focus. We're just asking you, get out ahead of it and choose your vibration before you focus. Can you feel that? Because if you're not tending to whether you're out ahead of it or whether you're not, your impulse to focus will still reign supreme, and you'll focus on something. You're never standing still. You are in every moment either making your world better or you're making your world worse. And by your world we mean your personal world. In every moment, in other words, you're never standing still. So the question that we're asking you is, are you under the influence of source, in which case the focus that you're focused upon is collecting things from your own vibrational reality, from your vortex? And are you really moving in the direction of what you've already vibrationally created, in which case you feel enormous satisfaction? Or is your impulse to focus, and it is a strong impulse to focus, taking hold even though you didn't get out ahead of it? You listened to something, you talked to somebody on the telephone, you got off on some negative jag, and now off you go? So here, this is the distinction that we're asking for. We're asking you to daydream, not nightmare. Now just think about it, because if you're under the influence of source and thoughts are just dropping into your mind, they're thoughts about improvement, or thoughts about beauty, or thoughts about fun things to do, or maybe thoughts about entertaining, or thoughts about traveling, or thoughts about improving something, or thoughts about remodeling something, or thoughts about purchasing something that is delightful to you, or thoughts about making love with someone, or thoughts about having a wonderful conversation with someone. When you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and you're receiving those thoughts, that's what those thoughts feel like. But if you're not under the influence of source, but still the law of attraction has hold of you, now your thoughts are thoughts about worry and what's going to happen with this, and I wonder where that's leading to, and what's going to become of them, and what are they going to be like when they grow up, and if they don't understand this, then where are they going to go? And sometimes you get on these jags where you're worried about somebody that you care about, or you're worried about yourself, or you're feeling sorry for yourself, or you're feeling sorry for someone else. And what we want you to stop and do when you catch yourself doing that is saying, oh my God, I'm nightmaring right now. I'm not daydreaming. I'm not under the influence of source, so I'm not allowing the wonderful reality that I've created to come more into fruition. I'm allowing the reality that I don't want that I've created to come into fruition, because something is taking form all the time. It's the nature of this universe of motion forward. Evolution is happening. You get what you think about, whether you want it or not. So this conversation, best conversation ever, by the way, really, this conversation is about finally getting out ahead of it, which means care about how I feel, care about what influence I'm under, care about where the thoughts are coming from that I'm receiving and that I'm downloading, care about what momentum I've stepped into and that I'm adding clarity of thought to. You want to direct your thought. That's why for many people, when we talk about meditating, they don't really want to meditate because they don't want their mind to be quieted. And we get why. Your minds are active. You've trained them to be so. They're responsive to what's going on around. Sometimes people will say, I'm very sensitive to energy. And we would like to say, instead of saying I'm sensitive to energy, say I'm susceptible to energy. I'm susceptible to it. So if I'm not tuned in, tapped in, turned on, then I could be susceptible to somebody who feels sorry for themselves, or somebody who doesn't like something about me, or somebody that's worried about this. And off I go on a train of thought that is unproductive and self-destructive. And then I come to conclusions that are flawed and erroneous, such as, I must not be blessed, I must not be loved, when it's all about what you're choosing to set your tone on. Yes?